Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and this is the art of becoming an artist. This week I lost my voice, so enjoy some AI voiceover as a rare treat while I recover. I hope to be back with my own lovely, rested voice next video. I had originally planned to do a video on saturation this week as I discovered I was having some trouble with using saturated colors in my pieces recently. But then I realized something. I have been learning and practicing concepts and trying out new methods for weeks, from proportion to character creation, perspective, colors, anatomy, textures, shading, and lighting. But I have been too scared to put my practice into motion on my own. So that's what this week's video is about. The painting progress on screen now is a piece I created myself, an original using a few reference images, which is something I honestly can't say I've done before because I think I was too scared to fail to try. There comes a time when you have to put all the practice that you've poured hours and hours into play. I've studied anatomy and proportion, and so I need to become confident in drawing someone. I've studied poses, so I need to be confident that I can angle things correctly using my perspective practice to make the image convincing. I've looked at color and started on saturation, so, as you'll see in the end, I can make the piece pop and have balance that creates beauty. The pride I have in this piece is off the charts. Not because it's perfect or because it's beautiful, though I think it has beauty, but because it is a culmination of all the work I've put into my improvement. I can't wait to see where I go from here if this is where I am at after just a few weeks of hard, focused, sometimes frustrating, brain-breaking, and mind-numbing study. I haven't studied backgrounds as much as characters, though when I worked on my daily art challenges, I had a few opportunities to practice. That's one of the items I have on my list for the new year. But with so many different options in the world, that topic will probably be a general topic spanning, well, forever. The good thing about a background or setting is that the level of detail can vary based on distance and where you want the viewer to focus. I think my favorite part of the setting for this piece was increasing the flower detail as they flowed closer to the viewer's point of view. Toward the end of this video, I was able to receive some feedback on my piece from an outside source, and it helped me realize that I tend to use more unsaturated colors in my pieces. So I remedied this in the last few clips by layering saturated colors over a few select areas, and the difference in the image felt light night and day to me, a major improvement made in seconds. This brings me to another very important topic, which is community, receiving and being open to feedback, and learning from the experience of others. If you spend your time watching tutorials made by professionals, learning from books, YouTube videos, and websites, then you are teaching yourself from their experience and creating experiences of your own. You take notes, you practice with paper and pencil, charcoal, digital brushes, whatever your preferred medium is. You see everything you put down on paper and try to learn what you are doing right and what you need to improve. But the more you look at your own work, the less you are able to see it from an objective point of view. Say you are working on facial features and you complete your portrait practice and your eyes look so good, better than you've ever done. You look at the piece and just can't take your eyes off of the portrait eyes because, wow, they are just gorgeous. You save what you considered a completed piece and call it a day, patting yourself on the back for a job well done. But because you had been working so hard on improving those eyes, and you improved so much and had such pride in that improvement, you didn't notice that the perspective of the face was slightly off, or the nose was crooked, or maybe that the mouth should be a little higher or larger. That's why it's essential to rely on feedback from others who know and understand art. They can have an objective point of view and tell you what they see to be technically off. They may think you did the eyes correctly, but can move on easily to looking at the rest of a piece as a whole and what its strengths and weaknesses may be because they do not have a personal connection to the process. Having the ability to learn from someone that can take a step back and provide input is incredibly valuable. They can point out something that you never realized you do, over and over in every piece that, with minor corrections to your own point of view and process, can create improvement in your pieces that advance your art by miles and moments. The other side of this coin, of course, has to be your openness to feedback. If you want to learn, you have to be ready to learn. When you open yourself to feedback, remember that it is an amazing tool to help you move forward positively. In terms of art, you don't have to take every recommendation as absolute fact, since at its core art is actually subjective. But there are a number of technical points that are known to be true, with facial proportions for instance, that you should still be open to learning. I know, it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but here is the difference in my mind. Helpful feedback would be someone telling you the proportions of a shoulder are wrong because one shoulder is closer to you than the other and they are the same size in your piece. But the closer one should be larger since it's closer to the viewer. A subjective recommendation would be someone recommending that you change the background to a different theme because it would make more sense to them. As you learn, take in the feedback and have an openness to it to try out recommendations and suggestions. You'll be able to weed through what will help your piece and what may just be someone's opinion on improvement. One way to force yourself into a more objective view in digital painting is to flip your canvas horizontally as you work. This allows you to take a step back from the image you've been staring at and see things in a way you never did before. Most professional artists that I have learned from utilize this technique, and it's now something I'm forcing myself to do as well, because you can see errors that need to be fixed and adjustments that need to be made much clearer when refreshing your brain with the switched view. That's all the time I have for this week. I hope you subscribe, take a look at my other videos, and come back next week for more of my journey into becoming an artist.